Welcome to WatchMojo, and in this installment of Versus, we're pitting 1987's Predator against 2022's Prey. For this video, we're comparing the new and old schools of this sci-fi action franchise to see if there's a new apex predator. If you haven't seen either film yet, there will be major spoilers. What's your favorite Predator movie? Set your sights on the comments below. Round 1. Story. Whereas later sequels would overdo it by bombarding the viewer with extraneous plot machinations, the first Predator gets it right by stripping things down to its feral basics.
Showtime, kid.
The movie follows an elite special forces squad as they find themselves deceived by their employers when their rescue mission turns out to be a hit job. Not only that, but they're subsequently stranded in the Central American jungle with an even deadlier extraterrestrial hunter out for their blood.
What the hell is wrong with you? There's something in those trees.
It's not the kind of story that takes home any awards, but it knows exactly how to tap into that late 80s machismo that has us coming back to it time and time again. Suffice it to say, simplicity can go a long way for an action movie.
When the big man was killed, you must have wanted it. Its blood was on the leaves.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Taking a different yet wholly inspired approach is the prequel movie Prey, which takes place in the Great Plains in 1719.
I saw a sign. The Thunderbird. I've been practicing. It's time. I'm ready for my katamia.
You really think you're ready? You want to hunt something that's hunting you.
Here, we follow a young Comanche woman named Naru who seeks to prove herself as a hunter to her tribe. Things take a turn, of course, when she comes across a technologically advanced predator in their territory.
We have him. No, he has us.
Unable to persuade the others of its existence, she sets out to stop it before it too starts to take her for a threat. Honestly, this wildly creative follow-up opens the door for numerous Predator movies across regions and time periods. But it wouldn't be so effective if it didn't tell a compelling story first.
I don't know that this thing can be killed.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Though the straightforwardness of the original film never gets old, we have to give this one to the latest installment for being so avant-garde and fresh. It might be too soon to say, but we wouldn't be surprised if we have another classic on our hands. Winner, Prey.
This is as far as you go. No more. This is it.
Round 2, Predator. Audiences didn't know what to expect when the Predator first leaped into theaters back in 1987. Even during the film, he's largely relegated to hiding in trees observing his prey, expertly building up the tension in both the audience and characters. The glimpses we do get, though, are terrifying, especially those wherein all we see are his uncloaked yellow eyes. This is a master hunter, ever patient and skillfully eliminating his enemies one by one. Whereas lesser sci-fi movies find themselves lacking in the creativity department when it comes to alien design, this one deserves props, not only for its unique exterior and gadgetry, but also for the ugly mug underneath. Seriously, there's only one reaction you can have when the jungle predator unmasks himself.
One ugly mother.
Much like previous sequels in the franchise, Prey makes sure to redesign its featured Yautja to differentiate itself from the iconic original. Whereas other entries simply went bigger and bolder, however, this one smartly fits both the environment and story themes. Hailing from more of a desert region on his homeworld, the feral predator has perhaps most notably fashioned the trademark mask out of the skull of another creature. Seeing as the film takes place over 250 years before the first, this predator has slightly cruder technology. But that doesn't mean he underprepares, making the most out of his tools and savage nature. He too manages to underestimate his prey, but we still wouldn't want to meet him in a dark wood. While both predators are incredibly cool in their own right, we still can't go against the classic predator on this one. Winner, Predator. Round 3, lead protagonist. The predators would be nothing without worthy prey, and these two entries definitely bring them.
Stick around.
Setting the tone for badass action heroes in the franchise is Major Alan Dutch Schaefer, played to perfection by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Dutch is an ideal military leader, staunch, loyal, courageous, and boasting muscles bigger than his artillery. But what makes him such an adversary for the Predator is his ruthless cunning and almost animalistic resolve.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
Though he's unable to save the rest of his unit, he gets down and dirty when the chips are down and beats the Predator at his own game. Not only does he figure out the Predator's weaknesses, he exploits them through a series of cleverly constructed jungle traps. Naru, on the other hand, is probably the exact opposite of a Dutch Schaefer type.
My girl, you are good at so many other things. Why do you want to hunt? Because you all think that I can't.
She's smaller, more agile, and more reliant on her wits to get the job done. However, the fact that she's so unassuming only makes her more dangerous, as she manages to turn her seeming faults into advantages to gain the upper hand.
And I'm not a threat. That is what makes me dangerous.
There's also something to be said for the level of tenacity on display, as Naru virtually spits in the face of opposition and tradition to carve her own path. She's even able to detect and assess the predator over a short period of time, building up an effective and deadly strategy for slaying her alien foe. In short, her resolve is the stuff of legend. While both protagonists are impressive in their varying tactics, Naru has the added benefit of being a relatable and more well-rounded character. It's a close call, but for that reason, we give this round to Naru. Winner, Prey. Round 4, supporting characters.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
As much as we love the heroes, the Predators need some entertaining fodder to build up the bulk of the runtime.
Whole platoon, 32 men chopped into meat. We walk out, just you and me, nobody. Right on top of.
While Schwarzenegger is clearly the big name attached to the first Predator, the movie did not skimp on rounding out the cast. The likes of Carl Weathers, Bill Duke, Jesse Ventura, and more enter the fray to portray equally personable characters. While they could have all been expendable meatheads, they all managed to have distinct personality traits in between all the gunshots.
You're hit. You're bleeding, man.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Oh. Okay. You got time to duck?
We know they're not long for this world, but that doesn't keep us from mourning them as they're successively taken out by the Predator. We love the third act for its feral intimacy, but it's easy to forget this movie is an ensemble piece. Prey, meanwhile, has a much more solitary character at the forefront, and thus spends less time developing supporting players. Still, that's not to say those that do play a hand aren't noteworthy.
You're right. We didn't do it. I did. You tried it. You couldn't bring it home.
Naru's brother Tabe plays a crucial role in understanding the former's need to prove herself. Though he too is dismissive of her claims, he's still the sympathetic sibling Naru needs. which makes his ultimate death all the more heartbreaking.
It thinks I'm the threat. This is as far as I go. No more. This is it.
No.
Bring it home.
A greater ally still is Sari, Naru's canine companion. While the faithful dog archetype is an easy one to pull off, Sari is memorable nonetheless and instrumental in taking down the predator. Oh, and there's scores of voyageurs, but they don't last very long. Prey ultimately is a one-woman show. While we love it for that reason, it's difficult not to go with Predator for its sheer wealth of side characters. Winner, Predator.
Come on in. Old Painless is waiting.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Round 5. Action and Kills. No one was doing action in the late 80s, early 90s like John McTiernan, and Predator is no exception. The film simply oozes a bravado that permeates itself throughout the set pieces, and that extends beyond the Predator itself.
Knock, knock.
The first act assault on the compound is over the top in the best way possible, and things only get better when the Predator enters the picture. Sure, many of the Predator's kills are conducted from the safety of the tree line, but never do they lose the ability to shock or surprise. Coupled with a superb Alan Silvestri score, the proceedings haven't ceased to thrill decades later, and we are still as intimidated by the Predator as ever. Prey may have been released straight to streaming, but that doesn't mean it's not just as cinematic. The landscapes are breathtaking, as are the pulse-pounding action scenes headlined by our favorite technological trapper. Much like the original film, things take a bit to escalate. But that just makes things that much sweeter when the Predator gets down to business.
It's coming.
His hunting techniques are superb, and though his weapons are more rudimentary, that just makes the kills that much more grisly and intimate. But we cannot talk about kills without mentioning the death of the actual Predator, which feels much more earned and cathartic this time around. Not since the original film has a Predator movie been able to thrill so effectively. Though the first Predator helped establish the action movie mold of its era, Prey does that and then some, delivering arguably better kills that better accentuate the Predator's versatility. It's a close one, but our final round goes to the new film. Winner, Prey. By a final score of 3-2, Prey comes out on top in this battle of franchise supremacy. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.